Oh hi, I'm out in the forest. Just wanted to share some thoughts about why I think Bruce Lee is a psyop and a scam and a hoax. Firstly, I'm always been a big Bruce Lee fan and a martial arts fan, and trained a lot. And well, firstly, obviously Hollywood is not to be trusted. That should be obvious. So there's just too many inconsistencies in the Bruce Lee story. As I said in a previous video, when you look at the way he fights, there's almost no jujitsu in his fighting. He looks like he could have mastered jujitsu, um, but why did he do so little of it? I mean, grappling. Why did he do so little grappling? His moves. Uh, I mean, how effective is a punch really? I mean, like for example, when Buzz Aldrin punches Bart Sibrel, obviously such a punch doesn't do any damage at all. It's gonna do more damage to the hand than it's gonna do to the face of a trained martial artist. Um, just one example, but anyway, but that's not my main point. My main point is. For example, if you look at Brandon Lee, I mean, it's very suspicious that they both died young, and the explanation for that, the story for it is just ridiculous. I mean, they're just nonsense. I mean, how can you even become famous that young when you're that young? Obviously, they are psyops that just retired. You know, their personas disappeared. But who is the real human behind? Looking at Brandon Lee, I mean, it's obvious he doesn't look anything like Bruce Lee at all. Uh, Bra- uh, and Brandon Lee doesn't look like Bruce Lee, and when you look at the death casket, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously a dummy. It's just and as inconsistency you can see in Bruce Lee Beardy Central. There's something called like Bruce Lee Beardy Central or something. He has videos about this, and it's there's not even any consistency in the pictures and the videos of the open casket. It's just obviously not a human being. Uh, uh, Completely fake. Uh, and his alleged wife. What kind of story is that? Or why would he even if he's such a like genius philosopher, why would he have like a traditional normal family life? When would he have time for that? There are pictures like him having dogs while he allegedly had the newborn children. He also had a lot of dogs. Like when did he have time for all that? Doing all the other stuff that he did, and and did he really have a hard time breaking into the industry when he um when he already had success before he was 30. Um, no, he didn't. Obviously, he was born into. Actually, his grandfather was a founder of Skull and Bones, and this is from a credible source. I'm not saying that because not like some because I believe in Freemasonry as such, but as an evil force, as a very evil force. I'm not really into that, but that's just a fact, I guess. Also, he was partly European, right? And he was very small, very not very tall, and very small. Look at Brandon Lee. just doesn't look any. I had a female friend that said once, "Well, Brandon Lee's good looking." Yeah, that's because they're not related. I mean, I think Bruce Lee, the actor. I don't know who the human is or what his real name is, but um, and obviously Brandon Lee is using a fake name as well. But um, anyway, they look completely different. It's just totally obvious. The son of Bruce Lee would actually look like Bruce Lee, also in terms of physical size. And we got these phony interviews, like I just saw one with Australia today, where they keep the same structure. It's like a CNN interview with Mark David Chapman. Suddenly, they in the middle of the interview, they drop like, "Well, wasn't it strange he died from eating a headache pill?" I mean, completely ridiculous explanation. And yet, just a psyop, just divide and rule, divide and conquer, fear porn. Like we could all die at any time, eating a pill or something. Oh, there's a bicycle. I can't speak. There's a bicycle passing. Okay, so there was a bicycle passing. He looked like he was 3 meters high or something. I don't know if it was Slender Man on a bicycle or what, but you use my ninjutsu skills to be. There's also been some weird screams and stuff. But anyway, I'm looking into the Bruce Lee psyop, and I'm using excellent sources, excellent strategies, like the Sage of Quay, Brian Staveley, those kind of truth researchers, Russian vids, and when even a mainstream channel like Beardy Central says it's complete, is calling out the scam. What does that say? What you really believe Hollywood? Like it's all constructed. It's all phony. The movies are great, but you know, again, why is there so little jujitsu? You know, I'm not saying he wasn't great at jujitsu, but where's the footage of him actually doing that? You think I would be afraid of getting hit or kicked by Bruce Lee? No, I wouldn't, but I would be afraid of. I mean, there's so many other ways he could defeat me easily. But yeah, that's just kicks and punches are just stupid, basically. Grappling, that's the way to fight. But I mean that's subjective. That's my opinion. Hollywood is not my opinion. That Hollywood is constructed in a phony way. That's not my opinion. There's definitely something fishy going on with Bruce Lee. Obviously, he was retired. Also, one of my main points I want to make in this video is he made a movie called Game of Death. That's what he's like saying he's not afraid of death and stuff. That's obviously predictive programming of him. He even says like there might not be a Bruce Lee. I mean, they talk about that. David Bowie talked about that, or about his role like that. It's just a role. It's not the real human. So yeah, but obviously with the censorship and stuff on YouTube, it's hard to be a truther, but yeah, it would be great if somebody would expose the truth.